what kind of got you going in the third?
Just got some clean looks, and then understood what they were trying to do defensively, and taking advantage of switches. And then we played great defense for most of that quarter, which gave us some transition opportunities too, and I was able to run. Beat the defense where they get set up, so that usually plays into our hands. Thankfully, shots went in and gave us a lot of momentum, and that group that started the fourth did a great job to capitalize and hold them to 18 in the fourth. No matter how many points you score, you're going to win a lot of games that way.
This is the third time in the past couple of weeks that Draymond has either gotten ejected or kind of left a game early, and you guys played really well after each three. How do you kind of square that?
We won the game. That's all we care about. That's all he cares about. I know he'd rather be out there. I don't know what he said to the ref, but I didn't think it was, or the consensus in the locker room was it wasn't enough to get thrown out.
Without Draymond, what were some of the adjustments you guys made at halftime to sort of mitigate his loss?
I just ran a lot of pick and roll, kept it pretty simple. Like I said, I understood what they were trying to do defensively, whether it was a contained blitz or they were just going to switch and put the big on me. And you're able to kind of have a predictable offense that way. It was less chaos, off-ball action with me, so necessary adjustment with him out.
Steph, we know what Melt can do defensively, but how nice was it to see his three-point shot going early as well?
We know he can shoot, and there's no worry about that. You realize how much time he's had off in his injury, so it's a matter of time for him to get his rhythm. And the one thing about him, he's gonna keep shooting. That's the best part of a guy that understands who he is, what he can do, and don't let misses, linger in your head. You just keep shooting.
Personally, do you like the look-away three or the logo three more?
They're both great. They're both great.
Steph, you and your dad passed the Shazes officially tonight for most games.
Who?
The Shazes, Dolph and Danny.
Oh, yeah. I heard what you said. Just keep going.
What does that one mean to you out of the things that you've accomplished already?
One, I'm mad at Raymond. He didn't tell me that when I left the court, so I could be prepared for that answer because I didn't know that was a thing. But it's cool, just longevity and the family business being in this game. Yeah, my brother's points, it's even better. So pretty special for the Curry family as a whole, knowing he played for 16 years. I'm in my 17th year, still trying to do it. And, yeah, dream come true, to be honest.
Next game, you'll be 2 games ahead of.
There we go.
So in that third quarter, after 17 years in the league, does that count for you as a dunk at this stage in your career?
I was joking with the whole bench because last year in Philly, I said that was my last dunk. And then I surprised myself when I got in the air that I was high enough. And then I made my mind up at the end I was going to try to turn it over. So I'm going to count it just because who knows how many chances I get. But I'll have to ask the locker room if they agree with me or not.
Steve was, pretty upset with a few of the turnovers tonight. It's not like it was some crazy turnover night, but that aspect of the game seems to be wearing on him a little bit. How much do you just view that as like kind of the biggest problem that you guys continually need to solve?
It's been a talking point for a decade. The way that we play, we know that there's going to be turnovers because we like to pass the ball. We, have a lot of organized chaos with off-ball movement and all that type of stuff. It is just the type of turnovers you're going to have some. You never want anybody out there second-guessing or playing passive or, timid to make a play. But it's the ones that are kind of mindless or just lead to, easy, uncontested points on the other end that kill momentum. And no matter how great a defense you play, if you do that 3, 4, 5 times, it's hard to overcome. So we had maybe 3 or 4 of those where there's no resistance from the defense. We're just turning the ball over. Those are the ones that are always going to get him red in the face. But overall, I think we've been doing a lot better the last couple of weeks, even if the numbers are still relatively the same.
You guys are 6-2 in the last 8. Does it feel like, you're generating momentum?
Yeah, obviously last night was rough. The Toronto game was rough, but you do have to remember, where we were a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and what's ahead in terms of, opportunity to put, string wins together. But I think our morale is pretty high, and, we're playing hard and competing. But we'll see what happens after this game in LA and this homestand we have.
Steph, here on your right. Year 17, you played nearly every second of that third quarter, and you had 20. You got, the vibes going. But are you running on fumes at that point? How do you feel after a quarter like that where you play basically the whole way? And do you like Steve letting you play basically the whole quarter?
Yeah, it was a great feel tonight. Sometimes, he has to make a decision, looking at time to score, looking at rotations and Draymond out and all that type of thing. But it's really all mental. Pretty resilient, able to adjust to how the game is going. Even though you're giving everything you got, you can still pace yourself, recover during timeouts, all that type of stuff. So I never really worry about it too much. I do love to keep going if I got a hot hand. That's what every player wants, especially if you got a rhythm like that. So and then managing the game in the fourth quarter, knowing that they were going to try to take me out of it, but just playing under control, finish the game, and I know I did enough in the third to get us to the win.
What'd you like more about the second half than the first?
Just the level of connection and competition. I just thought the first half we went through the motions. The spirit wasn't right, and second half, guys really connected, came together, and put together a great 24 minutes.
What'd you think about the Draymond ejection?
I didn't hear what he said, but it was a quick one. I know he got the tee right away, and then Kevin tossed him almost immediately. So I don't know what he said, but I assume it was something that Kevin just wasn't going to listen to. So I don't know anything more about it than that.
Obviously, 2 quick ejections, and then the other game that he left in the third recently. Is that a concern? Just him missing, large chunks of games recently. Is it a concern that he's, been out early in a few games recently?
Yeah. We need Draymond, and I want him out there, so I think he might be up to about 9 techs. So he's got to. We're not halfway through the season yet, so long way to go, and we need him.
Aside from him just being Steph, what changed as far as getting him in better rhythm in that third quarter?
Steph?
Yeah.
It wasn't me, wasn't like play calls or anything. It was just Steph, that's how good he is. And but again, everything felt right in the second half. The spirit, the energy, the level of competitive fight, and you're much more likely to make shots when you have that approach.
You've seen Melton's defense, but how good is it to get him seeing the three-point shot going early for him and that two-way impact really showing up right now with DeAnthony?
Yeah, he's barely played for 2 years, so we knew it would take him some time to find his rhythm, and it feels like he's really finding it now.
Right here. So in addition to some of the behavioral stuff with Draymond popping up again, the team's only been positive in 2 games with him on the floor since the beginning of December. Is there anything you're seeing in terms of how the team's playing with him on the floor that's changed? Usually that you guys are great plus minus when he's out there.
Yeah, well, we've been a little jumbled this year. We haven't quite found a rhythm, but I do feel better about the way we've played the last couple of weeks. I think a lot of the numbers, you get small sample sizes, you get, you see different things happen. I mean, I can tell you this. I mean, you look at Draymond's career, and he's on the plus side in a massive way over and over again. And like I said, the last 8, 10 games, we've started the same way. We've had a better feel, better rotation, and I think we're overall playing better, and I think he's playing better as well.
Steve, along those lines, I mean, Steph was just talking about morale and it being so high in the locker room. Do you feel like there's some momentum right now? You just referenced those, these last 2 weeks, and just maybe the spirits are good too?
Spirit's good. Like I said, first half it wasn't. But I have to say, Buddy Hield didn't play tonight, but his energy on the bench, his just communication with players, staying engaged, Buddy was incredible. And, I think Draymond said it a few weeks ago, Buddy's like one of his top 5 teammates of all time. He's one of my favorite players I've ever coached for this reason. He's found himself out of the rotation right now, and he stays upbeat, stays positive, telling jokes on the bench, keeping guys loose. Buddy is an incredible human being, and I know his time's going to come back around, but this is what it takes, to be a really good team, is to have everybody bought in, and especially the guys like Buddy who are out of the loop, still being part of it and engaged, and he was fantastic tonight.
Hello, Coach. About turnover, I remember a couple weeks ago, you said constantly talking about this conversation maybe will affect the players emotionally, but today they have 10 turnover in the first half, 5 in the second half. I was wondering how you approach this conversation recently about turnover.
Which conversation?
About turnover.
Oh, turnovers. Yeah. I don't bring it up anymore. And that's the truth. I'm no longer talking about turnovers with the team.
All right, about Kevin Love, what's your impression of him? And after all this year, continue seeing him out of there and adjusting his roles on the court.
I love Kevin's love for the game, the fact that he's still playing, still effective. I don't know him well. I coached him briefly with USA Basketball, but I love guys like that who just love the game so much and are great teammates and contributing, at an older age in their careers. He's had an amazing career, and it's great to see him still out there contributing.
You were upset at a few of the turnovers tonight, pretty obviously. Steph called it, it's a 10-year problem for y'all, but is it getting to you more this year than maybe in past years?
I mean, they matter more now. I mean, it's pretty obvious, we see it, every night. If we take care of the ball, we generally win. If we don't, we lose. So they matter more, and I know we're capable. One thing I want to make sure of is that we start getting the ball to Jimmy more down the stretch of games. We've lost all these clutch games, and there's nobody better in the league at protecting the ball, getting to the foul line, controlling the game. And we haven't done a good enough job of that, frankly, and that's on me. I've got to do a better job. But, you get him the ball, the game settles, and you're much less likely to, give up a transition 3 the other way because you're getting the ball in the paint, you're getting fouled, there's just a sense of control. We have to utilize that. Jimmy's one of the best in the league at that, and we're not doing it well enough.
Gary, it was night and day between yesterday and tonight. Obviously, getting the stars back helps, but from your perspective, what was different out there?
32, 3, and 10.
When Steph gets on one of those flurries like he did in the third quarter, how much easier is it for you guys? How much does it open up you guys' game?
Easy, give him the ball, let him work. If he wants a screen, he'll point at you, come set it, get out the way. Simple.
And then for you personally, I mean, you just add so much energy from steals. I mean, alley going back door and get different dunks, things like that. Just to kind of talk about what you bring as far as, the energy, the hustle guy to this team, to this squad.
Just that spark off the bench. Get in, get my guys open, give them space to work, and just be an outlet for them, if they get in trouble. So it would help if I could make some layups. But other than that, just bringing energy and effort off the bench.
How would you just describe that game overall?
It was a slow start, shaky start. We settled down. Believe it or not, Dre sparked us. What happened with him? So everybody had to turn it up a notch and make up what he does and what he brings to the team. So I think after halftime we came out with a little bit more spark, less turnovers, and got out in transitions and run and got our shooters open shots.
How did he spark you guys? And it was 2 quick texts. Like, were you surprised that it was that quick and he was gone?
Yeah, it's a tricky, sensitive subject with that. But they be they be trying to go after Dre. I don't know why, but it's just 13, 14, no, 16, 15th year. And you guys know how Dre is, so let's not be too sensitive when he starts to asking questions and stuff. But it's just what it is. But after that, he sparked us. We knew we had to back up. Have his back and make up what he brings. So after the halftime is what we did, and we got to a good little run.
You've seen the Steph Curry flurry in the third quarter countless times. What do you like more, the look-away 3 or the logo 3?
Yeah, a bit of both. As long as they drop, let's get back and get another one and give him the ball so he can see it again.
A couple of things. Speaking on that third quarter, speaking on Steph Curry, we asked him earlier whether you guys are counting that as a dunk at this stage in his career.
Absolutely not. We gave him one last year. This one's, he let it go just a little and grabbed the rim. I talked to him about it after. I'm not going to allow that one. So he's got to try it again. That's the best part.
Noted.
Yeah.
But going back to Draymond's ejection, do you know what he said, or do you know what he was
I don't.
what he was looking for there?
I don't. I forgot what the play would happen, but it was unnecessary. Unnecessary. You guys are great. Enjoy your weekend.